From covers to originals, finding your own sound. As songwriters, sometimes we can get a little self-conscious, we can get a little confused as to what direction to go in, but today I plan on trying to simplify that process for you. What I'd like to start off with is one question only. So if you had to throw away your entire listening collection, all your CDs, all your records, all your cassette tapes, couldn't download any more music, you could only have one artist that you were going to listen to, and that was it for the rest of your life, who would that be? You can leave your answer in the comment section below. So I know for a lot of you, you're going to say, well, that's too many to name, so let's try to simplify it. Early on, when I was younger, one of my earliest influences was my cousin, and he had always played in bands. He and his friends, they always had a band that they were in, so I went to a lot of their gigs growing up, and my parents owned a arcade, so the Bailey representative came in every Thursday to rotate the selection in the jukebox, and that's how I learned about the Billboard Top 100. And of course, I got to witness the early days of MTV. I remember the first video that I really liked was a Twisted Sister video. I thought they were hilarious, the music was great. I was too young to understand it. It was like, no, you don't. You were not going to go to a Twisted Sister concert. Once I got older, a little bit older, and had a borrowed guitar, I didn't have any lessons. I didn't know any music theory, period. I didn't know how to play any instruments. So what I did was I took a cassette and I tried to match what I heard. The first song that I learned was Bon Jovi's song, and I learned that one by ear. And later on, I got to borrow a guitar a little bit longer than just a couple of days. And by then I had a larger collection of DVD. Well, DVDs were too expensive at that time. This was the mid-90s. I had VHS tapes. And of course, if you've ever watched a VHS tape, an instructional VHS tape is nothing like watching YouTube. You have to get pretty good at analyzing what you're seeing on screen. The video quality isn't exactly the best, and the tablature is oftentimes a little sketchy, so spent a little while watching concert footage of like Def Leppard and watching other artists perform live, and of course nobody could ever play like Phil Collin. He's freaking odd as far as playing guitar goes, but so yeah, my earliest influences as far as that goes be like Twisted Sister, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, and next tip that I'm going to give, or the next source I'm going to give, is to record yourself. One thing that's going to be kind of a common theme for songwriters is first time you listen to yourself, you're going to be like, I don't sound like that. Yes, you do. And you're going to be kind of self-conscious about how you sound at first, because you're going to be like, oh no, that just sounds horrible. I'm pretty sure everybody feels that way the first time they hear themselves on tape. One of the things that I found when I was harmonizing my voice in, let's say, intervals at thirds, is it sounded kind of like Axl Rose a little bit. And I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, maybe I could see that just a little bit, where I would influence from, because at the arcade they played Guns N' Roses like all the fucking time. I don't know how many times I heard Mr. Brownstone or Rocket Queen. Like, people didn't play Welcome to the Jungle at the arcade, they played the B-sides a lot. You would think that they would play the radio singles. No, they played the B-sides a lot. Oftentimes, the Guns N' Roses, and really a lot of artists at the time, their B-sides were more popular than their A-sides. Like, if you showcase some of your own original works, especially if you make your own demos, you're going to get feedback. So one of the comments that I got on the song One, it's one of the earlier uploads that I did on this channel. The feedback that I got was it was reminiscent of Ozzy Osbourne, kind of Black Sabbath. And I started thinking about it. I was like, man, I did listen to a little bit of Ozzy Osbourne when I was younger, so I could see that. So you're going to get feedback not only from yourself, but from others, from supporting yourself. And speaking of feedback from others, that's going to be my third item, is getting feedback. So one of the best ways of getting feedback is to go to open mics. So I'm going to give you an example. Recently I went to an open mic and played Knocking on Heaven's Door. And somebody came up after I played my set and they were like, when you did the ooh part for Knocking on Heaven's Door, I kind of heard a little bit of Eddie Vedder. I started thinking about it. You know, when the grunge movement started, you know, that's probably one of the few bands that I really gravitated toward was Pearl Jam. I mean, Eddie Vedder was friggin' awesome back in the day. So I could see that. What my thought process is on this is take this pool and, you know, take maybe one song from each, maybe take a few closely related artists, take a song from each, and you should have somewhere around 10 to 11 songs. And take some of your own songs that you write, and you should have 13 to 14 songs that you could play, and just work it down really good. And you should have about a 45-minute set, and that's a good place to start on developing your own sound, is to just work that little core out. If there's two real takeaways to walk away from this video with, is don't fight the fact that you have your inspirations. We all do. Embrace it and just go with it. And also to get feedback from others. And if you found this to be helpful, useful in any way, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you next time. Take care.